45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Boy, does it feel good. Today is February 21st, 2024, episode 368 of The Dream Wager. Welcome in, everyone. I am your host, T-Rock, and joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. How you doing today, kid? Nicer day?
Yeah, it was finally getting a little nice in the East Coast. You know, next week we expecting like mid-50s, mid-60s. That would be dope, not for nothing. But, you know, they're glad to be back at it, you know, coming off, you know, let's just say like a down week in the world of sports, you know, coming off the NBA All-Star break and all that. Kind of weak, if you ask me, Dill. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, lackluster NBA All-Star weekend. We'll talk about that. Huge NBA show today. We'll be talking nothing but NBA. We'll recap the All-Star weekend. We got some news that came out of Brooklyn. We'll get Elvis's thoughts about that. We'll look ahead to second half bets for the NBA. You know, look who might win the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, make or miss the playoffs. And then we got a huge game slate for Thursday, 12 games slated for tomorrow to get the second half kicked off. We'll take a look at each game over there. But Elvis, let's start with the NBA, the All-Star weekend. Like I said, the East wind up taking it 211 to 186. And if I'm being honest, I didn't watch the second half. It was that bad. I only watched the first half. I know from stats, Karl-Anthony Towns dropped the 50 burger. I saw that. That was kind of crazy. But other than that, I know Damian Lillard bugged out for the East. Halliburton put on a show in his hometown. Jaylen Brown had a good game as well. He had 36. But first of all, did you watch it? And how can we improve this All-Star game?
Of course I watched it, Dill. You know, at the end of the day, Go James is in there. It's going to be exciting. You have, like, at the end of the day, there's still the All-Star break. It's still the All-Star game. You know, at the end of the day, I understand they don't play as hard they once did. But at the end, it's still the best players in the world. You're going to tune in. Now to fix it, I have no idea, Dale. It has to be like, I remember I was watching, like, growing up, and then I got reminded the other day because I saw a clip. Remember when, like, Kobe Bryant scored, like, 6 straight points for the West, and Stephon Marbury hit those 2 threes for the East, and they're going back at it, back and forth, back. They're setting screens, playing defense. Like you know, like, can they get back like that again? I don't know, Dale. We saw a couple of years ago when they implemented the, you know, 1st to 24 in the fourth quarter. We saw how, you know, how they dug in defensively in the fourth quarter because it was just, you know, first 3 quarters total points, and then the fourth quarter, you know, 1st to 24 basically almost wins the game most of the time. So that was a nice idea, though. To me, it has to be some type of incentive.
Something. Yeah, I was just gonna say incentive because, like the play-in tournament, you saw a young team like the Indiana Pacers who needed the money. Like some of the players needed the money. That's why they played so hard. I think I don't want to come out and say they're not playing defense because I do think they're playing defense. I just don't know if it's to the intensity that, you know, the bad boys were. And I just think offensively, the game has improved in the last 10 years.
No, so at the end of the day, you have Dame Lillard making 2 half-court shots. Like, I'm talking about he's pulling up, like,
from the logo.
Like, and he's making them, you know. Shout out Dame winning that MVP and whatnot, though. But, like, to improve it, to make it more competitive, though, I think they got to have, like how they had it a couple years ago after Kobe incident, though. You have each quarter win something. So if the West wins the first quarter, it gets an incentive. The incentive could be X amount of dollars to each player's charity or community or something like that. Or each player gets, you know, this.
$15,000.
Nah, I gotta be more than that. At the end, these all-stars. It's not like it's regular players in the play-in when you got like 7 or 8 guys making the. No, but you know, at the end of the day, if you be like, hey, the NBA on the NBA behalf, we'll donate $100,000 to each of your charities. I think the players will buy in on that. So I think you turn it back into like each quarter you win something. So first quarter, winner of the first quarter, whoever has the most points, each player gets 100,000 donation to the second quarter, 200,000. Third quarter, something else. Fourth quarter, where was the fourth quarter? Wins the home field court for the finals, West or East.
Yeah. That's
Something
what they
like
do
that.
for baseball.
Yeah, so to me, they have to spice it up somewhere like that. Because if you tell players like, "Yo, we'll donate $100,000 each to your charities," all you gotta do is play competitive. Whoever wins that first quarter or first half, each player gets $100,000 towards their charity on the behalf of the NBA. That sounds good. I think players will be like, you know what, for I just gotta play a little hard for my my city, these kids to get $100,000 just for me playing those. Why not? So I think they could make it a little more competitive. Yeah, could it still be entertaining? Could it still put up 300 points? Yes, still. But for at least a quarter or two or three, it's people playing ball, like real ball.
What about the captains of the team? Whoever wins, why don't they're able to kick, or the loser winds up, the captain gets to kick people off the team. Be like, listen, you're not, it might not stick, but it's like, listen, you want to be an all-star anymore? Like Luka, you didn't show up. Peace. Like, why are you here?
Because that's the whole thing. They're voted in by the fans.
The fans shouldn't
like,
have
I understand. I understand what you're.
I'm dead ass.
I know. I'm not saying it's a horrible idea, though. All I'm saying is, you can't. People want to see Luka on the court. I understand what you mean. Like Luka didn't play. Luka should have gave people 30. Like it's Luka, you averaging 30. You should at least
7
drop
points.
you should at least drop 20 at the All-Star break. Something like, I understand what you're saying, Dill. But at the end of the day, even if he's on the court for 5 minutes and he gives you 7 points, people voted to see that. So I don't think you could just do that. And at the end, you're going to replace it with somebody less.
At least they'll try harder. That's the thing.
But it won't get that traction. People want to see Luka Doncic. They don't want to see this.
I mean, it's a bad look regardless, because you had guys come out during the All-Star weekend and say, you know what, we don't really try. It's kind of like a vacation for the family and for the players. The NBA has a hard time getting viewership regardless on any given Thursday or a Friday night. Now you're admittedly saying you don't take it serious. That's not a good look.
Well, the one thing I could say is it's the NBA's fault. They allow it to get this far because it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this in the 90s, early 2000s. No. Hey, even like when we was in high school, Dill, 2008, 2009, 2010, it was still a little competitive. To me, it started, dying out like teens, like 2014, 2016, 2013. That's when it started dying out, really, when it started getting a little out of control, Dill. But literally up to 10, 15 years ago, it was somewhat at least competitive at times. Now it's just full-blown dudes are pulling off from half court. Dame is making them. I ain't mad at it. But at the end of the day, we want to see a little side more competitive. I know the league will like to see side a little more competitive. And even some of the players, I believe, would like it to be a little more competitive. Because you saw at times, like Jaylen Brown, or when KD said, oh, these dudes too small. Like, you saw at times with him, KD and Dame, they guarded each other up for a little bit.
Yeah, at least for a couple series.
Yeah, even last year, do you remember when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were going back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was interesting because they were really guarding one each other and they were making tremendous shots. That's entertaining. Like, I even heard I don't know if it was like an ESPN guy or a TNT guy, maybe Kenny Smith, I'm not sure, but somebody said that it should be like let these players go like 1-on-1, 2-on-2s. That's it. That would be fun. Like, imagine, like Kyrie versus
Steph
1-on-1. You're tuning in for that. You're tuning in for that first to 5, 3 dribbles max. You're tuning in for that.
I think something has to happen because it's just a bore. I mean, unless you're at the game, everything that I've read or everyone that I've talked to doesn't watch it. They tune out.
I started playing the game and watching it because I was watching on the iPad.
Yeah.
So I was literally playing video games while still watching it. I saw Anthony Towns start eating second half. Him, Jaylen Brown, Damian Lillard started, putting his
Even
MVP
SGA,
case
shout
for
out you on the over 15 and a half. He had 31.
Yeah, he went crazy. It was just like a lot of easy buckets. That's what it is.
course.
It was a lot of easy buckets, and that's one thing. If you make a hard, like if Dean hits like 4 threes, 5 threes, something like the logo, that's fine. He's pulling that shit. But when you just lay up, slam that shit. Break the fucking rim, bend it. Let's have a TV timeout because somebody damn bent the rim, broke the backboard. Do something. It just has to be a little more entertaining for the fans. I understand you don't want to play at 100%. You don't want to risk injury. I understand that part, but you gotta be more entertaining. That's why I say at least make it an incentive. Maybe a 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 3-on-3 tournament when you have like multiple captains. Let's just say you have 4 captains, 4 teams, or 5 teams, something like that. Or I don't know. They just gotta make it more interesting. You see the NFL how they they're at least trying things. They know, Pro Bowl wasn't it. Now it's like you said, it's flag football. But at least they're trying things. The NBA is stale, people. It's stale. Let's try something.
Yeah. Well, whatever they decide to do, they need to do something because it's very lackluster. The whole weekend, the dunk contest is whack. Shout out Mac McClung. He went back to back, and so did Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard won the 3-point
He took over
contest.
the weekend. Yeah,
he did. He got the MVP of the game, and he also won the 3-point contest. Yeah.
First time starter ever as an All-Star. This is what 12th year. He never I ain't gonna hold you. The West is loaded every year with guards, but the fact that Damian Lillard never was an All-Star starter, I was surprised by that. And look, first time starter, he wons the MVP. So.
MVP, yeah. So he definitely stole the show, but overall weekend was kind of a bust, I thought, in my eyes.
Not entertaining.
Yeah, not entertaining at all. We did have other news, though, throughout the week, and we'll start in Brooklyn, right over the bridge with your Brooklyn Nets. They dismissed their coach, Jack Vaughn. They permitted guy Kevin Ollie. He's the interim coach for the rest of the season. He was a 13-year NBA vet. He also won an NCAA title with UConn, and then he joined the Nets 2 years after that. He ran Overtime Elite, G League Academy. So he has experience. Apparently, they like the guy, and everything they're saying for the summer, they're planning on building around Mikal Bridges. So he's the face of the franchise as of right now. Thoughts on the firing mid-season, and what are your expectations, I guess, for the new coach, Kevin Ollie?
It was the right call. At the end, when Jack Vaughn stepped in last year for Steve Nash, I knew it wasn't the best move, but it was a good fit. It worked right away. Jack Vaughn stepped into position, and the Nets actually were top 4, top 3 seed at one point during his coaching standard last season. So he was doing a good job. But this season at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say he got exposed. But all I'm saying is still, if you give him an average team, you're gonna see if he's a good coach or not. Clearly, he's not a great coach. A great coach will make an average team at least playoff capable. Right now, we're out of the playoffs. We're underachieving at the end of the day. We're few games. I don't even know how many games under 500. I lost count, but I think we're like 10 games under 500. At the end of the day, we are underachieving. We have a talented squad. I'm not gonna say we have one of the best squads in the East. All I'm saying is we got some talent on the team, people. So I just feel like Jack Vaughn, he did a well job last year. This year, he just underachieved, and he didn't no longer deserve to be the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Almost the New Jersey Nets.
Brooklyn Nets 21-33. They're 21 games out of the first seed, but they're only 3 games out of the 10th seed, which is the Atlanta Hawks, of getting in that play-in tournament. Yeah, I thought it was the right move. He doesn't have the talent on the team. They have some guys there, but they don't have depth. And when they play away from home, they're just not a good team. Away from home, 8-16. They're a little more competitive in Brooklyn. But yeah, I thought it was the right move. Thoughts on Kevin Ollie? Anything or anything you expect from him? They gotta find the guy. They can't keep getting interim coach and then firing him in the middle of the year.
Yeah, I feel like our front office is doing a poor decision making. At the end of the day, we hired Steve Nash, which was kind of Kevin Durant's decision. He wanted Steve Nash when they first joined. He was an assistant coach in Golden State with the Warriors. Him and Kevin have a good relationship. And to me, that wasn't the best hire, you know. And then to replace Steve Nash, you hire an interim head coach in Jack Vaughn, who you fired within a full season. I don't even think he coached 82 games. And then you hire another interim head coach. You know, if it was me, I wish a lot of people giving Doc Rivers a lot of slack. Shit, I wish we would have just hired Doc Rivers a month ago. You know, not for nothing. I want a head coach who been there and done that. No disrespect to O'Neal, but I just rather have somebody who's been there and done that. I want a superstar head coach. You know, not just another promotion. You know, even Steve Nash, it was the first time head coach. You know, so we haven't really had a real coach who's been there, done that, who's been in a playoff run, who's coached for multiple years, who's coached a superstar. We haven't had that in years. Like,
no.
So that's my only thing. Can my only expectations for him? Can he figure out a way to make us in a plan? We're what, like you said, 3 games back. Could he just finish out the rest of the season 3 to 4 games above 500? Could he even go 500? Because the Hawks or somebody fall off a little bit. If we finish 500 to end the season, I feel like that's a good run. That's successful because at the end they were 12 games under.
Yeah, hopefully Kevin Ollie could get the same out of the team, just like Jack Vaughn did last year. You know, pick up early, try to make a second half push, and at least get to the play-in tournament. The number 1 seed in the West, Minnesota Timberwolves, they lock up Mike Conley Jr., 2-year deal, $21 million extension. They keep him out of the summer free agency. He was expected to be a free agent this summer. And they keep their backcourt intact until at least 2025, 2026. You know, they are the number 1 seed right now, 39-16. They're a game and a half ahead of the OKC Thunder. You like this move, keeping Mike Conley Jr.?
Yeah, Dale. You know, he's a veteran. You know, he's been there, done that. I remember him being on the Wolves for years now. You know, I remember him on the Jazz. He was giving people buckets on the Jazz. So I just feel, you know, with such a young team, you need a guy like Michael Conley who could just, you know, come in the game, lead the offense, be the point guard, and settle the team down, make the right decisions down the stretch to win games. So great move. And at the end of the day, though, we know where this team is heading. Are they heading to a championship this season? Most likely not. But extending it for the next 2 years, having that, you know, veteran point guard down the stretch for the next 2 seasons, though, I think it's gonna pay off. You know, can the Timberwolves be a championship team 2 years from now when Edwards is a little better, Karl-Anthony Towns maybe a little more consistent? You already know what Rudy Gobert is gonna do. He's an anchor down low. Can Michael Conley lead that young group to a place they've never been before? I would like to see it. I would personally love to see it.
100%. And I think, you know, averaging 11 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, I think they got him on a deal as well. You know what I mean? So they got him. He's already in his 17th year in the NBA. He signed him for 2 more years.
Let's not forget, people. At one point, Michael Conley was the highest paying point guard in the NBA. Like, let's not forget this. I remember people came at him crazy when he got like a 4 or 5 year deal, 160. He was one of the first people to get like that much money as a point guard, and this was like 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So much respect to Michael Conley. Dylan, look, he's out here on the number 1 seed. Dylan, who would have thought? So it's just exciting to see this young team playing as good as they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his guarantee. He's on a 3-year, $68 million. I want to see how much like total salary he's had.
It's over 280, 300 maybe. I'm telling you, he racked up, bro. He got that big deal in Utah.
Yeah, he had that. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. 24, 22, 60. He's almost at 273 million.
I said 280.
Wow.
Shout
273. Yo, Mike Conley got the bag, man. Yo, I love it. Shout out Mike Conley, man. Like you said, he was a legend. Obviously in the tail end of his career, but honestly, who could say they've played, besides a handful of people, who could say they played 17 years in the NBA?
Exactly.
He's about to be playing 19. He might get to 20 years.
If he could be Derek Fisher.
He's better than Derek Fisher.
No, I'm just.
I know.
For example, if the Timberwolves make 2 for these next, including this season, for the next 3 years, they make deep playoff runs. If he could be Derek Fisher, like Derek Fisher was on the Lakers 08 to 2010. That's all Memphis needs.
Yeah.
I mean
And I love
Memphis.
it.
That's all Timberwolves need.
Yeah, Minnesota. And I like you said in the beginning, this is a very young team. You get a veteran like Mike Conley who's been around the league, who knows how to win. I think that's great for a locker room and especially for the young guys to kind of look up to. So, yeah, I like Mike Conley. I think the 2 years, $21 million extension is very generous, if I'm being honest. So,
Yeah. They showed them love with that one.
yeah, of course. I don't think a lot of guys in their 17th year are making 11 million or 10 million, whatever, bonus. So like to see that, but that's all the news that happened during the week. Before we get to our second half bets and the Thursday slate, we are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Thursday watching the NBA slate, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to the second half predictions. Like I said, some of the surprises in the first half, Minnesota, OKC being as good as they are, how good Boston Celtics are. I mean, they're probably they're the best team in the league. Especially at home. 26-3.
You know what it is? Still, to me, it's Kristaps Porzingis, man.
Really?
I didn't expect them to be this good this season.
No, me either.
I think that's what it is, because you know what, at the end of he could give you 2-3 blocks a night. He could give you good defensive presence, and then it'd be times he give you a 30 piece. If you're gonna tell me Porzingis is gonna average 20 plus points in the playoffs, Boston Celtics is winning it all. But can he be that third, fourth missing piece they have? Because White, Derek White be doing
Derek
this
White's
thing.
Good.
I'm telling you, I like the team a lot. And if you tell me Porzingis is gonna give you somewhere like 26 and 2 blocks a game, watch out.
So let's start with the East, because the East is very interesting to me. Let's do the conference winner. Let's look at the odds. So to win the East right now, obviously the Celtics are the favorite at +115. You got the Bucks at second at +300. Knicks, surprisingly, at third at +700. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's another surprising team. They've really come on as of late. They're fourth at +900. 76ers are fifth at +1200. They're still waiting on Embiid to get healthy. So I guess let me get your predictions, or what do you think how this East is going to go? Milwaukee, they fired Adrian Griffin. They bring in Doc Rivers, kind of was a shock. I truly don't know. I think Jason Tatum has really taken over and been the MVP. I think he could win the MVP of the league. He's really playing like a top 5 player in the league right now. So I think the Boston Celtics can win, man. I think they could get up to like 63, 64 wins. I truly do. They have 43 wins. I think they could win 20 more games. So I got to take the Boston Celtics to come out of the East this year.
Yeah, Dill. I can't disagree with anything you said, Dill. I agree with everything you just said. Jason Tatum's definitely taking that next step. He's definitely a solidified superstar now. Jaylen Brown's been playing at a high level. I just told you, Porzingis to me has been one of the biggest surprises in the NBA season. He's playing at a great level as well. But Dill, I'm gonna have to stay with my pick. Dill, I'm gonna still have to see the Milwaukee Bucks make it to the NBA Finals. Dill, I said it from the beginning of the season. I'm gonna stick with them. I think Damian Lillard, he got something to prove, though. I'm not gonna say, he tried to send a message in the All-Star break, kind of sweeping the 3-point contest and winning the All-Star game MVP. But all I'm saying is, though, I feel like in this playoff run, he's gonna show people his Dame time. I just have a feeling Giannis is gonna do Giannis things. Giannis is gonna give you 35, 15 a night. Giannis is gonna be Giannis. But can Dame give you 25, 30 a night? That's going to be the thing. Can he be consistent throughout the playoff run and give you 25 to 30 a night because that's all your Giannis needs. Giannis
Yeah.
will give you a 40 or 50 burger every now and then, give you 20 rebounds, 18 rebounds in a game. Giannis could have a game, make 15 free throws. We saw it. We saw it in a closeout game in the finals. So Giannis is going to give you what Giannis does. As long as Giannis is healthy, we saw him get bounced last year against the Heat. Giannis wasn't healthy, Bill. If Giannis is healthy, Dame is consistent, gives you 25, 30 a night, I think the Bucks are unstoppable. Don't get. I agree. Like I said, I agree with everything you said with the Boston Celtics. I like Boston, but I'm gonna just have to stay with my pick in the Milwaukee Bucks.
So I'm glad you brought up Kristaps Porzingis. So the new three, the core three, I guess, in Boston, Tatum, Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis, they're averaging a combined 70 points, 21 rebounds, and 10.5 assists. All three of them come out.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
they're OD. They're crazy. I didn't.
We gotta compare that to like LeBron, Bosh, and Wade.
Yeah,
no cap, because that's how.
I thought it was an amazing pickup. It was just what Danny Ainge and Boston, not Danny Ainge.
But we didn't expect it to work this good.
Not this quick either. So you like them, but you're sticking with your pick, Milwaukee at plus 300 to come out of the East. My thing is, they fire out of nowhere Adrian Griffin. They don't even let him get to the All-Star break, which kind of was a shock to me.
Shout out Doc. Real quick though, I'm gonna just put it out there.
I heard, but he's I didn't really.
I know. Shout out Doc, man. Doc gave the All-Star coaching check to Adrian Griffin. That's real deal right there. That's real deal.
I mean, since then though, it's kind of been a downhill. We talked about it briefly. They've lost 6 of the last 9 games going into the break. I expected some growing pains, but not this, especially when you have this much talent. I guess that's what really kind of puts me off on Milwaukee. I don't know. That's a huge storyline for this second half. How can Damian Lillard, Giannis, and Doc Rivers work together to try to, because they have the talent. No one's disputing that. They have all the talent in the world, but can they mesh it and put it all together this season? I don't know. I think that's a big question going into this second half. I love what the Knicks did. I can't understand it. Getting OG Anunoby, Alec Burks back, Bojan Bogdanovic from the Pistons as well. Jalen Brunson, he's playing at an MVP level. He's averaging 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. He's shooting 48% from the 3. So as soon as he continues to go, I think the Knicks are live. I think they could get, I think they could get the 3rd seed. I truly do. I think they could win 50 games. Right now, they're sitting at the 4th seed with 33 games. I think they could win 17 games and get to 50 games. I would love that. So a little optimistic on the Knicks, but I got to stay with the Boston Celtics. I mean, they're just a juggernaut right now. Let's talk about the West, because I think the West is a little more open, if I'll be honest. You got Denver Nuggets, you got Minnesota Timberwolves. They're the number 1 seed. OKC, very young, hungry team sitting at the 2nd seed right now. Watch out for the Clippers, man. I've really come around on the Clippers. And if I'm being honest right now, if we're looking at the Western Conference odds, the Clippers have the best odds, and I'm going to take them, E. Give me the Los Angeles Clippers to come out of the West for the first time, get over that hump, and finally make it. And what great story would it be? Right before they open up their new arena, they go out and win a championship and go and hang the banner in their new arena. I don't know if they'll win the whole thing, but I really like their odds to get back, to finally get over the hump and get into the championship. If Paul George and Kawhi Leonard can stay healthy, I think they have a real shot. You got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. He's been that energy bug, that energizer bug. They have a lot of depth. James Harden, he's played every game. He really likes it there. They're meshing. This Clipper team is dangerous, kid. I know the Denver Nuggets are the defending reigning champions. I know Phoenix is starting to put some things together. I like the Clippers, man. I'm going to take them plus 250. They're the favorite to come out of the West for a reason. Give me the Clippers.
So, we spoke, recently, Minnesota, they're loaded talented. They're good. They borderline great, but they don't have championship DNA yet, So Minnesota is out. Phoenix have the firepower. They have the defensive-minded head coach and Frank Vogel. I ain't gonna hold you. Frank Vogel, my boy Frankie V can dice him up, though. Let's give Frankie V some credit. But I don't think they have the depth to win a championship, Dale. And I understand they're healthy now, Dale, but it took about 3 months to get there. Devin Booker, KD, and Beal being on the court for 2 weeks consistent.
And I still have to see Bradley Beal remain healthy. I'm sorry if I'm skeptical about it.
Yeah, I got to see it too, Dale. Can they stay healthy for 2-3 months straight? Let's see. Phoenix is a dark horse, still. I like Phoenix at plus 800. Oklahoma City. This is another team I like. They're like Timberwolves, still. I like the addition of Gordon Hayward. Mm-hmm. But do they have championship DNA? No. Can they win a 7-game series against
LeBron?
No. LeBron, no. Can they win a 7-game series against a healthy Kawhi Clippers team? No. Nope. Can they win a 7-game series against just the Joker with 50% Jamal Murray? No. So, still, with that being said, I agree, with the Clippers. I like Denver. I like Denver a lot. I give OKC a sprinkle just because I feel like they could be the healthiest team come playoff time. They're just so young, loaded with talent. But I'm going to have to agree with you, though. Give me the Los Angeles Clippers to finally make it to the finals. Though. Some people will say I'm the prisoner of the moment. But at the end of the day, people, you can't deny what we've been seeing since December 1st. This is the best team in NBA since December 1st. They've just been putting it together. What James Harden's been doing with that offense. Russell Westbrook finally accepting his role. But, people, Russell Westbrook's playing less than 25 minutes a game. And he's excelling at it. He's still giving you great numbers with less than 25 minutes a game. Our boy Kawhi Leonard, he's playing every game. My boy Kawhi Leonard's been playing at I'm going to say it, MVP level. My man Kawhi Leonard deserves to be in the MVP conversation. I'm not saying he should be a favorite. I'm not saying he should win it. All I'm saying is he should definitely be top 5 in voting. Because look with the Clippers, and he has a big part to do with that deal. And let's not forget, one thing that the Clippers have that nobody else has. They have a coach in Ty Lue who's been there and done that a few times, We've been to back-to-back finals. We saw him come back from 3-1. He's been with the lows. He's been with the highs still. All I'm saying is Ty Lue is a coach you want to have in a sticky situation come playoff time. I think Ty Lue's one of the best head coaches in the NBA. I like Denver. I want to like the Thunder. I kind of want to say the Thunder.
Just because too young.
They're too young. But I just feel with the Clippers and Phoenix, I hope I'm wrong, but we know what comes playoff time. Devin Booker hamstrings, Kawhi's knee, Paul George's ankle. All I'm saying is OKC is the youngest and healthiest team. That's all I'm saying. But I like the Clippers still. Give me the Clippers.
Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page. And, I was very harsh and critical on them beginning of the season. I said, what's going on? They have all this talent. And then they go and get James Harden, and it all turns around. Russell Westbrook, he's not selfish anymore. He goes, hey, I'll go to the bench. You guys don't need me, but I'll give you a little spark off the bench, and everything has flourished. It's really fallen into place. I'm actually ecstatic. I like the Clippers. I don't dislike them. It's just I needed to see it, and they're a really good team. I want to ask you about the Lakers real quick, though. They're sitting in the 9 seed right now, 30-26. They're just 2 games behind the Sacramento Kings. To make the playoffs right now, I'm looking plus 105, yes, and not to make the playoffs, minus 130. We saw it's kind of been an up and down first half for the Lakers. They win the play-in tournament, then they kind of fall off a little bit for about a month, and they kind of picked it up. I'm being nice. And then the last 10 games or last week and a half before the All-Star break, they kind of found their rhythm a little bit. We already discussed it's not Devon Ham. It's not his fault. But can they make the playoffs? Plus money now?
I don't think so. I just don't see it, Dale. Can they? Yes. Can they? Yes. Will they? I just don't see it, Dale. We saw them go on that great run last season. Remember, they had the best record All-Star break on last season in the West, and they still wasn't able to get to number 6 still. They weren't able to. Right now, like you said, they're number 9, basically 3.5 games back from the number 6 seed. The New Orleans is they playing better ball now. They're getting it together. They're getting it clicking. Phoenix at the 5th seed. You just said it. They finally getting it clicking. They all healthy right now. Bill, Booker, and KD. They're all healthy. They getting going. Denver, they're not gonna drop off. Clippers ain't gonna drop off. OKC not gonna drop off. Timberwolves is applying pressure. So you gotta look at it. Is it gonna be Phoenix, Denver, or New Orleans to fade away? I'm gonna give New Orleans a shot to fade away, but they've been playing at a high level. Now you have, like you said, Sacramento and Dallas Mavericks ahead of them, with Golden State behind them. If I'm gonna pick 2 teams to, finish the end of the season strong, I'm gonna go with Golden State and the Lakers over Dallas and Sacramento, just because the experience factor. But they still need one of the teams in New Orleans or Phoenix, because they both got the same record, to fall off. Still, they gotta one of them is gonna fall off. So we need the Lakers to perform great, be better than the Kings and Mavericks, with the Suns or the Pelicans falling off. I think that's too much to ask right now. Though, can it happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? I don't think so. Though.
We will see. I think it's better for basketball if the Lakers do get in, if LeBron gets in again, because like let's not forget they were in the Western Conference Finals last year. I know they got swept and not. Yeah,
Lakers are going to be a hard out in a game, 7-game series. Like I said, in a 7-game series, the only 3 teams I give a shot to beating the Lakers: Clippers, Denver, Suns.
Now, let's just throw hypotheticals out there, because I do want to talk about the MVP category. And right now, the Joker is the favorite at -135. No doubt about it. He's probably not the best player in the league right now. But SGA is sitting at second at +210. He's the next closest. The third closest is Giannis at +850. So kind of out there. So right now, it looks like it's a 2-man race between the Joker and SGA. Let's just throw a hypothetical out there. Say OKC winds up not falling off and they get the 1 seed in the West. And, Denver kind of stays stagnant. They stay around the 3 or the 4 seed. Would you give it to the Joker, or would you take the plus money now on SGA? And, if they get the 1 seed, that's hard. That's hard to doubt him.
I'm taking SGA right now for one reason only, though. We saw the Joker. He kind of got not him playing. But, he won back-to-back MVPs. Do they want to give him another one? Do they want to make it, 5 straight years a big man gets it? When the last time a point guard won the MVP, though, it's been a while. Like, when the last time it was Giannis back-to-back, Joker back-to-back, Joel Embiid. So, in all realness, you got 3 big men back-to-back winning the last 5 MVPs, though. To me, the better storyline is the young OKC team. If they're even a top 2 seed, though. I think the over-under was 41.5, though, and I told people, smash the over. Look at it now, though. I'm telling you right now, SGH at +210 is great value, people. I'm telling you right now, he has the higher seed. Right now, I think they're going to finish a higher seed than Denver, though, and at the end of the day, Joker has 2 in his back pocket already. It'll be a better to me, it'd just be a better outcome for Shai Alexander to win the MVP than Joker. Just because they could be like, oh, Joker won it again, big whoop. But if Shai wins it, a young player on a young team, it's going to be more exciting.
100%.
Just a little more exciting X factor to award. At the end of the day, Joker already won it twice. So for +210, it's not like Joker's like -250. Joker's only -120, people. So if SGA just average 30 points a game, finish top 2 seed, I don't see why not. He ain't the MVP.
From 2015 to 2018, all 4 guards won the MVP, and now we've kind of seen a shift. A lot of, Giannis won it back-to-back, the Joker won it back-to-back, and Embiid won it last year, kind of turned into a big man award. But the last guard to win it was James Harden in 2018 with the Houston Rockets. He averaged 30 points a game, 9 assists, and 5.5 rebounds per game.
Damn.
He was balling, James Harden. And then, you had Russell Westbrook win it with OKC in 2017.
He averaged a triple-double.
Yeah, he had 31, 10, and 10. And then Steph won it back-to-back in 2015 and 2016. And he was averaging 30 a game as well. So, yeah, I like it just on pure value. But if the Nuggets go out and go get the number 1 seed and they and Joker's going to get it, But yeah, just wanted to touch on that in the second half and make some bets there. Let's get to this 12-game slate on the board. We got a lot of games to talk about for tomorrow. Elvis, why don't you take us away? What do you got for tomorrow?
All right, Dale. I didn't touch every game. It's a couple games. The spread is too high for my liking, Dale. So let's start it off. Your New York Knicks taking on the 76ers. I think this is going to be a great matchup. Wish Joel Embiid was back healthy, but it's okay. New York Knicks, they're slight favorites. You could say minus. Oh, they're the underdogs. Minus 104 on the money line. You could take the +1 if you want people. Over under that 226. Give me the New York Knicks still. I think the Knicks are just a better team right now. I understand OG's still not back, but at the end of the day, they're the better defensive ball club at the end of the day. So I think New York, they take care of business in Philadelphia. Give me the minus 104. I got it at minus 102 earlier, so money is coming in on the Knicks. So watch out for that. Try to get to the window today instead of tomorrow. Still, another great matchup. Phoenix Suns taking on the Dallas Mavericks. As of right now, Phoenix Suns are +3. Over and they're sitting at 244. Dill, give me the Phoenix Suns +3. Dill, like I said, the Suns have been playing much better. You even said it. They've been playing much better as of late. The 3-headed monsters are healthy. Dill, as long as those 3-headed monsters are healthy, and like I said, my boy Frankie V could dice them up defensively. Dill, I think the Suns take care of business. I think they even live dogs in the scenario. Give me the Phoenix Suns +3 on the road. Another matchup, Boston Celtics taking on the Chicago Bulls. Celtics laying 8 on the road. Oh, right now 7.5 at DraftKings. Find it where you can find it at, people. I'm gonna take the Boston Celtics laying the 8 on the road. Though I love the 7.5 even better. Chicago, Levine going out. I feel like they're just giving up on the season. Celtics, like you said, you think they can win 20 more games. I think they'll get to 60+ wins as well. Give me the Celtics laying 7.5 or the 8, whatever you get it at, people. And then we just talked about this team, the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors laying 4.5. Give me the Lakers +4.5 on the road, Dill. Lakers, they won 4 out of the last 5 ever since LeBron put the hourglass thing. I just feel like the Lakers going to make a little push. Can they make it the 6th seed? I don't think so. But guess what? They're going to try to do it, Dill. And then we're going to end it off with a 2-way 6-point teaser. Orlando Magic taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers here. Cleveland Cavaliers laying 7.5 at home. We teased them down to -1.5 at home. And then Houston taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans laying 7. Then we teased the Pelicans down to a -1, Dill. So that's my 2-way 6-point teaser. Cleveland to -1.5. Pelicans to -1.
All right, 3 player props for me. We'll start with the Detroit game against Indiana. Give me Jaden Ivey. Remember, he was my guy last year. I'm going back to him. Over 16.5 points. He's really come on as of late. Last game against the Suns, he only had 2 points. But outside of that, 15 against the Lakers, 23 against the Clippers, 26 against Portland, 37 against Sacramento, 16.5. Little chalky at -140, but I think Jaden Ivey has a good game. Let's go to that Knicks and Philadelphia game. Should be a really good game, I think. Give me Josh Hart over 7.5 rebounds. This guy literally does it all. Not the best game against the Magic before the All-Star break with only 3 boards, but outside of that, double-digit rebounds in 7 or 8 straight. He had 11 against Houston, 10 against Indiana, 10 against Memphis, 10 against the Lakers, 12 against Indiana, 10 against Utah, and 12 against Charlotte, and he had 9 against Miami. That's 9 in a row. He's gone over 7.5. A little chalky at -135, but 7.5 boards is just too small for Josh Hart. And then lastly, give me over 6.5 rebounds for LeBron. This one is chalky, -150, but Elvis, it's like we say, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. Minus
Yes,
150,
sir.
over 6.5 rebounds for LeBron against Golden State. What do we know about LeBron? He always shows up against Golden State no matter what. He had fucking 20 rebounds against them the last time in that double overtime thriller of a game. One of the best games in the first half of the season, I thought. LeBron's going to show up against I even like over 9.5 rebounds at plus 300. Throw a little sprinkle on that, maybe a half a unit on that, but I think LeBron has another big game. He always shows out against the Golden State Warriors. But that's all I have for right now. I'll have probably a little more as props continue to fall out come tomorrow morning. But that's going to do it. Anything else, anything you want to get off your chest before we get up out of here, kid?
Nah, Dill, let's just have a great second half of the NBA season. Check my action tomorrow as well. I'll probably have some props up. Gonna be more loading up by tomorrow. Let's just have a great run, Dill. Hopefully, the Nets are down bad. Hopefully, your Knicks can make it up for our Nets, Dill, because your Knicks has a small chance to do something special, Dill. Something we haven't witnessed in our lifetimes. So, go Knicks.
I'm praying. Orange and blue skies. Orange and blue skies, baby. That's going to do it for this Wednesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys on Saturday. We'll have more NBA plays. Baseball's gearing up, so don't worry about that. Make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live every Wednesday and Saturday on YouTube, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review, leave in the comments who you'll be betting on, and all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we will see you guys down the road.